Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're not just learning a few phrases. Oh no, we're going to become language architects. Instead of using bricks and mortar, we're going to use Korean words and grammar to build some really impressive sentences. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at our language blueprint. Then, we'll get our hands on the key tool we need. After that, we'll practice with a bunch of examples, learn one absolutely crucial rule, and by the end of this, you'll be all set to build amazing sentences on your own.
So what's the big idea here? It's all about learning how to take two separate actions and connect them into one smooth, natural-sounding Korean sentence. You know, just like an architect joins two parts of a building to make it stronger and way more elegant.
Right, and every good architect needs the right tools, don't they? So let's open up our toolkit and take a look at the one tool that's absolutely key for what we're doing today.
Okay, here it is, the star of the show. This is our core building block, our high-tensile steel connector for linking actions that happen one after the other.
Let's get this sound in our heads. Say it with me. 은 다음에. Again, 은 다음에. One more time. 은 다음에. You know, its job is super simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. It just tells you that the first action is totally finished before the second one even starts. The key thing to remember? It's all about the order. First this happens, then that happens. Simple as that.
All right, enough talk. It's time to roll up our sleeves and actually build some sentences. We're going to walk through 5 practical, everyday examples so you can see exactly how this tool works in the real world.
Okay, let's set the scene for our first one. Imagine you're at the bank with a friend. You finished your errands, and now you're starting to get hungry. We've got two separate thoughts here, right? And our job is to stitch them together into one smooth question.
And how we put it together? It makes perfect sense. We just grab the verb from the first action, snap on our connector piece, and link it to the second part. Let's check out the final result. Okay, listen up. Here's the full sentence. Let's say it slowly first. 은행에서 일 보고 난 다음에 점심 먹으러 갈래요? Good. Now at a more natural speed. 은행에서 일 보고 난 다음에 점심 먹으러 갈래요? And one last time like you're actually saying it to your friend. 은행에서 일 보고 난 다음에 점심 먹으러 갈래요? This just means, shall we go have lunch after finishing up at the bank? See how natural that sounds?
All right, on to example number 2. You just finished a super stressful driving test. Phew, time to relax. And again, we have two separate things happening that we want to connect smoothly.
And here's what we get. Let's practice it. First time, just for pronunciation. 운전면허 시험을 본 다음에 같이 커피 마실래요? Second time, a bit more conversational. 운전면허 시험을 본 다음에 같이 커피 마실래요? And a third time, so you really own it. 운전면허 시험을 본 다음에 같이 커피 마실래요? And that translates to, would you like to have coffee together after taking the driving test?
Now, for this next one, I want you to pay really close attention. Listen to the sound, see if you can spot a tiny little change in our connector. Something small but really important has changed.
Okay, here's the completed sentence. Let's hear it slowly. 병원에서 진료받은 다음에 약국에 들를래요? Again, at a natural speed. 병원에서 진료받은 다음에 약국에 들를래요? And one more time. 병원에서 진료받은 다음에 약국에 들를래요? In English, this is, shall we stop by the pharmacy after seeing the doctor? Did you catch that? It's 받은 다음에. We're going to circle back and explain exactly why that extra un sound is in there in just a little bit.
All right, our fourth example. This is a classic one, right? Movie and dinner. And hey, notice anything? We're back to the original version of our connector. I bet you're starting to see the pattern now.
Let's give it a listen. First, nice and slow. 영화 본 다음에 저녁 먹으러 갈래요? Second, conversationally. 영화 본 다음에 저녁 먹으러 갈래요? And third, with some confidence. 영화 본 다음에 저녁 먹으러 갈래요? This means, do you want to go for dinner after watching the movie? Perfect.
Okay, let's do one more simple one, just to make sure this is really locked in. A quick stop at the bookstore, and then a nice, relaxing walk in the park.
And here's our last example for this part. Ready? 서점에 들른 다음에 공원에 갈래요? Again, 서점에 들른 다음에 공원에 갈래요? And last time, 서점에 들른 다음에 공원에 갈래요? Which means, shall we go to the park after stopping by the bookstore? Awesome! Now you've really seen how this tool works in different situations.
All right, remember that little change we spotted a few minutes ago with the hospital example? Well, it's time to pull out the blueprint and look at the most important specification. This is the one key rule you've got to know to use this connector like a pro.
So this table lays it all out, and honestly, it's way simpler than it looks. It all comes down to one thing. What's the last sound of the verb stem? If the stem ends in a vowel, like in 보다, you just add 닌 다음에. This becomes 본 다음에. Let's say that together. 본 다음에, 본 다음에, 본 다음에. But if the verb stem ends in a consonant, that's called a 받침 in Korean, you add 은 다음에, mostly to make it flow better when you say it. So 받다 becomes 받은 다음에. Let's practice that one. 받은 다음에, 받은 다음에, 받은 다음에. And that's it. That's the entire rule.
And just like that, you've mastered the foundational piece. You get the tool, you know the rule. Now you can take this and start building much bigger, cooler sentences.
You know, a great way to think about this is that Korean grammar is like a big set of Lego blocks. Each grammar point, like the un dame we learned today, is its own unique block. And this one? It's a really essential piece because it lets you tell stories or just explain what you did today by linking everything together in order. You can connect it with all sorts of other grammar blocks to build these incredible, detailed sentences.
So let's do a quick recap of what's in your toolkit now. You've got the connector, 은 다음에. You've got the crucial rule about vowels and consonants. And you have the blueprint for how to combine actions. You are, for real, a language architect now.
We've laid it all out for you. You literally have the power now to take two totally separate ideas and connect them elegantly to talk about what you did or what you're going to do in Korean.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. The tools are yours now. So my question for you is this. What two actions will you connect first using 은 다음에? Think about your day, your plans for tomorrow, and start building.